2-hour timeline. I get what I'm about to do done in 2 hours. I'm on the road today because errand day. The errand I have to do right now, it's not the funnest one in the world. It's one where I have to spend money. Get new tags on the car. Both the car and the school bus, actually. It's really just driving out to the vehicle center place and giving them some money. That's pretty much what I'm doing. It's chilly today. That's what I'm talking about. Today I want to talk about something that really is awesome. For those of you that don't know, we have a daughter that has autism, and she is 10 years old. I want to give you a little bit of background on schooling. The first school experience for Braylee was preschool. The first school I went to, they wanted to try to see if she can do it just a normal, typical classroom with no supports. We requested supports. They said, let's try this first. And she really struggled with about a week through preschool. She struggled so much with it to where when I would drop her off, she would literally lay face down on the floor in a corner. The preschool teachers are like, it's easier if you just go, she'll get comfortable type thing. It didn't take long for them to figure out that she needed supports in school. So that's how school started for her. She ended up going to a dedicated room to where they had more specialized work for her. They had an awesome program for her and stuff like that. Preschool started progressing. She started getting more comfortable with it. And then we ended up moving to Minnesota and started her second year of preschool here in Minnesota. And she had a really good team here for her preschool. And she did well, continued to progress and everything. But then moving from preschool to kindergarten, she definitely struggled a lot. So she also has a sensory processing disorder, and there's so many parts about kindergarten that was just so disruptive. She had no communication, so she couldn't communicate her wants and needs. She was overwhelmed by so many different things. She went into the classroom, and really she was just going to school to not do any type of work. She would be in the sensory room. That's it. And because she went into the classroom. So we decided, hey, it's probably a little pointless to keep her in school at this point, because what are we doing? They're literally babysitting her. We pulled her out of school and started her in ABA therapy. First in-home ABA therapy. That didn't work out so well. So we quickly learned that the company that we used was not a great fit, and at home was not a great idea for her. Home was her safe space, and we turned home into a not safe space. And so we switched to a place that was out of home, different company, tried again. And we like this company so much more. And I mean, they worked with her so well. The staff was amazing with her. One of those people being Caitlin, her current respite, her support staff that we have now. She thrived in learning communication. She learned how to communicate her wants and needs. They also worked with the school environment. That's the whole purpose of this. The school environment, getting her to get to a point to where she can successfully attend school. Because that's the ultimate goal. We didn't want to keep her in therapy forever, because it was full-time therapy, 40 hours a week. And we didn't want to keep her there forever. So the ultimate goal was to get her back into school with the tools that she needed. And 3 years later, we put her back into school. Before I continue with this story, let's have a little brief intermission while I get some gas in the car, because I need some gas. And I'll show you this awesome, really, she's really into crane games lately. I gotta show you this. She is a pro at them too. She keeps winning stuff. But here you go. Look at this. Okay. Oh. Gas is good, and now we're back on the road to get the tags for the vehicles. But anyways, continuing my story. 3 years later, we send Braylee back to school, back to public school. We got lucky, but I want to say that we also worked really hard to get to this point, to get her to a place where she's just going to be supported, and she's thriving here in her new school. She's been thriving for nearly 2 years, and there's been small steps toward independence. There's been small steps toward better communication, finding the best ways that she learns. The team in her new school continually find ways for her to push for progression. They know when to push, they know when to pull back. They know Braylee, and they know what helps her be successful. And I think that's a big point, is knowing what our strengths are and our weaknesses are, and then utilizing those things to help her be her best self, continually progress. You've seen over the last couple of years her social skills, her communication skills, her writing skills. There's so much progression. Yes, it's not the fastest progression in the world, but it's progression. She's moving forward. She's learning things all the time. She just loves school. She loves being there. She loves the environment, and she wants to be at school. She asks for school on the weekends or the days off. And a lot of parents might think this is not a big thing, but for me and Stacy, this is huge, what I'm about to tell you. It's a continuation of examples of how awesome Braylee's school and her team really is. Helping her progress, helping her push forward, and learning new things, and just giving her those independent skills and the confidence, and continually giving her the tools that she needs to move forward. It is a true success story. This whole thing is a huge success story. Yes, we've had our bumps in the roads over the last few years, definitely. If you've been following along with us, you know that those do happen. The bumps on the road do happen. But that's not going to derail her from moving forward. Yes, we've had regressions, but that's okay. It does happen. So before I tell you this amazing thing that happened just this week, before I tell you that, let's go to another break in the conversation. Another intermission. I'm getting our car washed. It is dirty. You know when you're like trying to get in your car and you accidentally bump into it sometimes? It's gotten to the point where you bump into it and you're just gonna be dirty. You're gonna have a dirt streak across your clothes. It happens. When you have a kid, she purposely brushes up against the car, and then there you go. A bunch of salt, dirt, road grime stuff gets transferred onto clothing. So, car wash it is. Small town DMVs. You just can get right in there, get the stickers, and get right back out. I got it done in maybe 2.5 minutes or so. That's how it always is. There's no line there. That's one benefit of living out in the country. Look at that, getting cleaned up. Let's continue with the whole purpose of recording this video today, right? I'll pick it back up when I get home. Not too much longer. The car wash. Welcome to the car wash. That's not how the song goes. muddy over here. Muddy and icy. And how's this looking today? Oh, not so bad. Only a little bit going down. That's good. Puzzle's still hanging in there. But I need to definitely broom some of this out. It's really melting out up in here too. This is just straight up the ice because it's melting all down. Summer is on its way slowly. Back to the topic at hand. Whoa. Now that we're home, we're actually leaving again. Sounds like a Braley.
Yep.
Stacy is going to the principal office today.
Anybody else have anxiety about going to see the principal? Ours is sweet as pie, but it's like that internal anxiety of, oh no, I'm going to the principal's office. I'm in trouble.
It's like walking on ice.
Oof. No, this is walking on ice. You switched me up. I went to go on the inside.
Back to the conversation. I'll let Stacy finish it up.
In the mornings, the para comes out to the van to get Braley and take her inside. There's a lot of the time that while I'm talking to her para in the mornings, kind of relaying a little bit of information that's necessary, whatnot, Braley just starts walking into the school on her own. So her sped teacher reached out and came up with like a, hey, we've been noticing she's doing really well with like that little bit of independence. She's still within eyesight, just giving her the independence to kind of walk herself in. Her sped teacher is great about seeing where she's at and not just stagnating there, but also pushing her to be more independent and going the next step of where she's at. So they've done this throughout her day as well inside the school, to where the transition periods between each room, they'll show her her visual schedule and show her which room, and they'll kind of let her lead in the hallway, and they'll still be there supervising and everything, but giving her a little bit more of that sense of independence so that she can take her own accountability for kind of starting and going where she needs to go. And her routine is so set that she knew exactly where she was going yesterday, the first time. So her para will stay at the entry door, kind of give us a wave to let us know she's there. We'll give her a wave and we send Braley in. And it went really, really well, I would say, the first couple days. And that's definitely a win. And as a parent, that is really awesome to see. Like, to watch her going in with her peers on their own, and so she is now able to do that as well, is a big step, because she does still need support throughout her day, so we never want her para to not be there, and she is supervised, but to kind of let Braley do Braley things. I think that pushing her to have that independence is going to be so much more beneficial than like holding her hand through everything in life, thinking long term, you know? And the more independent that she is, I think the more confident she gets. And that's just a good feeling to have. Who doesn't want their kid to be strong and independent? And just, it's all really good stuff. And today, this morning, was the second day. And we watched her go in, and I told David, I was like, it's like watching a kid go into kindergarten for the first time, because that's like her version is her walking into school by herself, and it is her first time. She might be a fourth grader, but it's kind of like her firsts. And so it just hit me in the heart a little sentimental this morning is all. But it's the little things sometimes that mean the most.